Don't ask me how I'm doing.
I know you feel terrible, but we have to cut your DL56 dosage again. We've got to get you detoxed.
Weaning me off DL56 is not detoxing. I've been taking it to stay alive.
That may be why you started it, but you become physically dependent.
Is that my fault? Bennett Devlin told me that DL56 was a vitamin shot.
And some Kernfos gave me downers so I could strip at his club. But ultimately, I was the one taking the pills.
That is not the same thing.
Whatever reason, we both started our drug addiction. The point is, when you're hooked, you're hooked.
I know what I need to survive.
We're risking our careers just by giving you this drug in the first place.
And how does that compare to my life? Now, you're monitoring me.
Yes.
Can't you see that the lower dose isn't working?
Frank, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. From everything we've seen so far, your symptoms are just from withdrawal. Your most serious injury from the fall is doing fine. There's no indication that your cardiac accelerator nerve fibers are degenerating.
You have no right to play guessing games with my life. It's going nowhere. Where's Joe?
Joe will tell you the same thing. He's in surgery all morning. You won't get anything out of him. Breathe. Listen, I've been through detox too. I know it's hard. I know you feel like your insides are turning out, and I understand that, but you just got to take it one day at a time. Your vitals are doing very good.
Oh, it doesn't matter if they are good. You have no idea what you are doing to me.
I helped create this drug, and I know that it's better to get you off of it right now. I just hope you understand I'm trying to help you.
There's only one thing that will do that.
What's the latest on Frank?
Heart rate is 80 beats per minute. BP is 120/80. His white cell count is a bit high, but it's to be expected.
Sounds good. How does he feel?
Frank is learning to face how long 24 hours can be.
Karen, I hate seeing him hurting like this. How long before he's weaned off the drug and back to normal?
Julie, I think you might have to start facing the fact that Frank might not ever be back to normal. When we took the test animals off DL56, their behavioral changes remained.
Have any of the test animals resumed normal behavior?
I haven't seen that happen yet.
Yesterday, before you cut his dose in half again, he seemed so happy and energetic. I was tempted to forget he ever changed. But I can't ignore the medical evidence. Being in denial isn't exactly the best way to handle this.
Do you have any samples for me to take down to the lab? No, not right now. Can I speak to you for a second? You sound like a teacher I used to have just before she would give me detention. I'm gonna cut to the chase, okay? Joe said you wanted to speak to Frank.
I can understand why I couldn't see him when he was first admitted, but...
Joe and I think it might be a good idea for you to see him, but on one condition.
What?
You have to promise not to give him DL56.
I am not his supplier.
No one is accusing you of anything, Mark. I just want you to understand how serious his problem really is.
I know what he is like on this drug.
Being on the drug and coming off of it are two different things. We don't know how serious his withdrawal is going to be. Right now, the symptoms are like someone coming off an opiate, which means he's going to do anything and everything he can to get a fix.
Right, the DL56 is not a party drug, but Frank's body needed those injections.
Maybe at first. But now Joe and I have to decide when and how much he needs. Frank's demands are coming from someone who's going through withdrawal, so they have to be discounted.
Whatever you say.
Lark, you have to be strong for Frank. And when he asks you for help, which he is going to, you cannot give in.
I won't. Look, no matter what you or anybody else thinks of me, I never wanted to hurt Frank, and I don't intend to start now.
Even if he says you're hurting him by not helping.
Karen, even if he does ask me to score, I can't do anything about it. The dealer who makes that junk for him is in jail.
Did he keep a stash of it at home? Maybe in his truck? Lark,
I think he was too busy using it to hide any.
did you keep a stash of it for him?
No, Karen. I swear, I have been begging Frank to stay off of that drug for weeks. I am not going to stop now. You don't have to worry about me.
Dr. Carvey to 410 East. Dr. Sherry Carver to 410 East.
I can come back if you want.
No. Come in. I'm glad it's not another doctor coming to poke at me.
I brought you some magazines to take your mind off the stuff.
That won't be easy.
You want to tell me about it?
There are a few things I'd like to discuss with you.
Okay.
That's my girl. I know I could depend on you.
Always.
Now, Joe and Karen, they mean well. But they don't know jack about what I really need.
You mean the DL56?
Exactly. She cut my dose again, and it's not enough. I need more. Now, I have the DL56 formula. I need you to find someone to make it for me.
But they told me that...
It doesn't matter what they told you. I am the one dealing with this medication. They have no experience treating humans with it. I need my regular maintenance amount.
I'll have to find someone who can make it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Do you have the formula written down somewhere?
It's hidden.
Where?
So they got to you.
I don't understand.
If you're going for wide-eyed innocence, then I know you're lying. That's your fallback whenever you're busted.
I'm not lying to you. I'm trying to help.
Oh, help? Help who? Me? Or Joe and Karen? Did they put you up to this? I give you the formula and I never see it again. You can't play me, Lark. I've seen your best stuff.
You will not get better if you don't let us help.
Oh, is that what you're doing? You know, I could have swore you were stabbing me in the back.
You are going to adopt me, Frank. What good is having the father that I have always wanted if he is dead?
Come here. Come here. If you care about me, if you want me to live long enough to be your father, then you'll do this for me.
Frank, you're the one that told me that doing what someone wants is different from what is best for them.
Get out.
Frank, I'm trying to...
Just get the hell out! Don't come back.
Do people normally make promises and then back out at the last minute?
Lance Pharmaceuticals didn't make you any promises. You asked for a meeting. I'm here to tell you in person that my company reviewed your work thoroughly and is no longer interested in the project.
Yeah, but I've made a major breakthrough.
If I had a nickel for every time some researcher cried, "Major breakthrough," I'd be sunning myself on my own private Caribbean island instead of here with you.
Fine. Fine, I'll just sell the patent to another company, and you'll be kicking yourselves when the money starts rolling in.
The latest results on DL56 are too negative to warrant further investment. We're gonna pass, Dr. Ramsey. Major breakthrough and all.
Well, would you be interested if I told you I had positive test results from a human subject?
Have you conducted a human study?
Yeah, I have a volunteer on the drug as we speak.
And?
And he's healthy as a horse. After a traumatic accident, the DL56 regenerated his cardiac accelerator nerve fiber, allowing the patient's heart to once again beat at a normal rate.
Success with a human subject could change our position.
I thought it might.
What kind of a room do you have me in? That place feels like a sauna.
Are you feverish? Let's check your temperature. I'll grab it.
Stop hovering.
Karen said your vitals are better.
Our Lady, St. Karen, doesn't have a clue. She and Joe are playing this whole thing by ear.
Frank, they're monitoring you as best they can given the unknowns.
Julie, there are people with heart conditions, liver conditions, diabetes, who are on medication their entire lives. Why can't I be on DL56?
Frank. Frank, there is no comparison between tested and approved medication and DL56. It could cause liver damage, kidney damage, brain damage. We don't know. It's a wild card.
I don't care. I can already feel my body breaking down on this dose.
You have to be weaned off.
So what's on the other end of weaning? Say I don't die. I could be a vegetable. My brain could melt. How does that grab you?
It doesn't. I want you to be healthy again.
Does it look like I'm getting healthy? You know, I might as well be having this conversation with a box of rocks.
Frank doesn't seem too happy.
The withdrawal is tearing him apart.
What kind of detox protocol are you following?
We have the dose he was taking on his own, and we'll keep having it until he can go without.
Well, is he committed to coming off the drug?
Frank wants what all junkies want, and he'll do anything to get it.
Come for another pound of flesh?
Here to give you an anti-seizure medication. Should help you feel a little bit better. Glad you went for a walk. Staying active will help.
It didn't. I'm cold. I'm hot. My lungs feel like they're filled with broken glass. Anything else?
That about sums it up. You will get to the other side of this, Frank.
I'm not interested in the pep talk. What do you want?
We got your labs back. They were good. So in another 12 hours, we're gonna cut your medication again.
After all these tests that you've run, are you sure that you can tell if my nerves have fully regenerated since the accident?
They appear to have regenerated.
The nerve that was damaged after the fall regulates my heartbeat. Now, if that regenerated after taking DL56, how can you be sure it won't degenerate after I stop taking it?
Because we've been keeping an eye on that, and we haven't found any evidence that that's happening.
What is it going to take? Me falling over from a coronary before you realize that you are wrong?
Okay, just calm down. Frank, listen to me. I am a doctor. I took an oath to help people. I'm not going to take any unnecessary chances with your life. Do you understand that? I know this drug better than anybody. I know we have to get you off of it now.
That's important to you, isn't it? Helping people.
Yes, Frank. That's why I became a doctor.
Does your medical license give you the right to administer untested, unapproved drugs?
What are you getting at?
I just hate to see your career go down in flames if people found out what you were doing here.
Blackmail. That's original, Frank. Either I give you a higher dose of DL56 or you go running to the hospital board. Is that it?
Nobody ever said you were stupid.
Okay. All right, well, before you cause trouble, you should know that I'm not the only one that's gonna get hurt. Joe would get kicked out too, but I guess you don't care about that right now.
So far, I'm the only one paying the price for this mess. I'll be more than happy to share the wealth.
Before you revoke my license, you consider this. This hospital would never, ever, under any circumstances, approve administering DL56 to you, especially after I tell them how nasty the side effects can be. You're gonna lose your supply, whether you die or not. Better some than none. Huh, Frank?
You looked in a mirror lately?
I'm sure I'm as handsome as ever.
It looks like you want to crawl out of your skin.
Don't you have any real criminals to harass, Garcia?
You're in the hot seat now, Frank. Especially for Devlin's murder. So come on, you want to talk about killing the guy who got you hooked on this stuff?
Haven't we been over this? I am not going to confess to something that I didn't do.
Apparently everybody in Port Charles is innocent.
You have nothing linking me to Devlin's murder.
Frankie, all I gotta do is take one look at how tough this detox is, and I can come up with a motive.
You know, Garcia, this is getting tiresome. Don't you have anything new to offer?
New. Well, let's see. Dr. May was poisoned by something you can't run down and buy at the corner store. Did you get your little lab rat to whip up a little cyanide for you after he made up some DL56?
I barely even knew Dr. May. I had no reason to kill that woman. Now, will you get out of here? Can't you see I'm sick?
All right, Frank. I'll go. But I'll be back. There's a lot more going on here, Frank. And I'm gonna find out what it is.
Did you see Frank?
I saw the man that passes for Frank these days. Karen, this is gonna sound crazy, but I want you to be honest with me. The other day, Garcia said he thought DL56 could have turned Frank into the general homicide killer. Do you think he could be right?
I'd be lying to you if I told you I hadn't thought about that. When the lab rats were on DL56, they tore each other to shreds. There's no telling what it might cause a human being to do.
I don't want to believe Frank had anything to do with it, but if he did, it is because of that drug.
Which is exactly why we have to get him clean as soon as possible.
Whoever it is, go away.
Looks like you could use some help, Scanlon. Am I right?
I don't want anything from you.
Well, this is more about what you need.
Wants and needs are the same thing to me at this point.
No one's gonna help you, Frank. Not your friends, not your family.
But you will.
That's why I'm here.
What can you do for me, Rams? You don't know anything about DL56.
That's not true. You see, I'm nothing if not observant, and let's just say I paid attention when I was at Jake and Karen's lab.
And now, out of the goodness in your heart, you want to help me.
I feel for you, Frank. Joe and Karen can take the high moral ground, but you have to lie here and sweat it out.
And you want to take me away from this?
I'm willing to give you all the DL56 you want.
In exchange for
Your soul. I'm kidding, man. It's a joke. Medical research. You're my ticket to a patent on the drug.
and a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
If I become your personal lab rat, I want a cut.
Well, I've never been considered stingy.
You think we can keep it from the moral majority?
Well, I can watch my back. And heck, I'll even watch yours. If we have a deal.
I always wondered what it would be like to make a pact with the devil.
Now you know.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, live in concert, the Cowboy Junkies, plus from scenic Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Chef Emerald Lagasse on the secrets of cooking lobster at home. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.